Estos.
Dile al gato que te suba. Ajá.
Igualito ya.
Mira, el mismo era el que estaba diciendo.
La vaina se pega, abre el ojo.
Damas y caballeros, niñas y niños, bienvenidos al partido número 19. Shortstop, Tyler Smith, tercera base. Rich Everson, primera base. Nicholas Eagle, segunda base. Tyler Craig, left field. Hyde Matee, receptor. Yasha Halverson, right field. Ron Simon, center field, y su lanzador, Carl Catfield. Invitamos al resto del equipo. Y ahora invitamos al equipo de República Checa, manager Vladimir Slow, sus coach Alas Navratil, Jan Lablonka, John Hussey. The players, Radit Novotny, center field. Jakub Kubica, tercera base. Martín Cervinka, shortstop. Martín Musi, receptor. Jakub Grell, segunda base. Andrés Furco, primera base. Giri Babrusa, designado. Martín Cálave, right field. Jakub Ondrase, left field. Daniel Padizan, lanzador. And the rest of the equipe. Ahora invitamos a los umpires de este partido. Ernesto del Rizo Velázquez, Cuba. Yosina Hironori, Japón. Taya Silva, Venezuela. Malcolm Johnson, Sudáfrica. La comisión técnica está integrada por Angelo Fanara, de Italia, y de Colombia, Johnny Pantoja. Anotadores, Gabriel Almaraz, Peleide Sánchez y Daris Rodríguez, de Colombia. Attempts of Sudáfrica. Himno a República Checa. Checan and prayer. Gracias a los voluntarios. Y ahora invitamos a la persona que realizará el primer lanzamiento en este partido. Ella es Liliana Palmera. Liliana Permera es una boxeadora monteriana, ex campeona mundial. La acompaña nuestro director de deportes de la ciudad de Montería, Jaime Vergara Kerguelen.
Well, once again, we say hola de nuevo desde el Estadio de Béisbol de 18 de junio. It is day number 7 of baseball here in Monteria, 8 days since we started this tournament. It began last Friday morning with the opening round, Group B being played here in Monteria. We are on day number 2 of the consolation round and the penultimate day of baseball. Here in Monteria, our first game of the day will feature 18th ranked Czech Republic, who got a win yesterday. Their first of the tournament. They will take on winless South Africa, the 26th ranked nation in the world. South Africa will be the visiting team. They'll hit in the top of the first inning. This is the starting lineup for Neil Adonis's team. Had a close call yesterday, nearly beat Puerto Rico. A 7-5 final yesterday. Here is their lineup today against the Czech Republic. Brandon Smith will lead off. He's the DH. Victor Ngope will play second base. Play shortstop, I should say, and hit second. Tyler Smith is the third baseman, and he will bat third. Rowan Eberson, the hero from the World Baseball Classic qualifier a few years ago, plays first base. He will hit fourth. It's Nicholas Eagles at second base, hitting fifth. Tyler Crofton left batting sixth, and the latter third of the order sees Hayden Mappy playing catcher. Josh Halverson in right field, and Ruin Simon in center field. Neil Adonis's team still looking for their first win of this tournament. 0-6 is their overall record, but as talked about yesterday, had a prime chance of beating one of the better baseball playing nations in the world with a 7-5 defeat over Puerto Rico. They've gotten closer and closer as this tournament's progressed to picking up that elusive first victory. Will today be their day as they take on fellow Europe-Africa foe in the Czech Republic? On the other side for the Czech Republic, their first win of this tournament came yesterday. It was a 4-3 win over the Netherlands. They finished the opening round 0-5 before winning 4-3 in a close ball game against their European foe yesterday. And they put a streak together, and they win back-to-back days of this consolation round as they look to finish as high as 7th here at this 2018 U-23 World Cup. The starting pitcher for the Czech Republic will be Daniel Padishak. This is his second start of the tournament. The 18-year-old left-hander threw against Venezuela a few nights ago. 5 1/3, 4 hits, 4 earned runs in that appearance. Did strike out 3 in that loss against Venezuela. It was a ball game in which the Czech Republic lost 8-2, but Daniel Padishak certainly gave his team an opportunity to 5 1/3 in that ball game. And he will get the start today against South Africa. Buckle up, 3 games of baseball set to be played today here in Monteria in our penultimate day of this U-23 World Cup. Australia and the Netherlands, Colombia and Puerto Rico will follow. Glad to have your company. Thanks for hanging out on a Friday morning in Monteria. As Brandon Smith stands in, and he takes the first from Padishak over for a called strike, and we are underway 1 minute after 10 o'clock here in Monteria. Ernesto Del Risco Velasquez calling balls and strikes. Part of our umpiring crew for this first of 3 games on this Friday, the penultimate day of the consolation round. The 0-1 is high and away for a ball. Yoshihino Hironori is at first. Zaya Silva, the Venezuelan umpire, is out beyond second base. And Malcolm Johnson is the third base umpire, the 4-umpire crew for this first game of the day. 1-1 from Padishak is outside on a fastball for a ball. Brandon Smith so far in the tournament, 3 of 14, all 3 base hits, singles. It's a Czech Republic pitching staff that has also improved as the tournament has progressed. Swing and a miss. That'll even the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Czech Republic gave up 20 runs against Puerto Rico on the 4th day of the tournament. But since then have had narrow ball games. It was a 1-run game against the Dominican Republic. They lost 8-7 in extra innings and then got their first win yesterday with a 4-3 win over the Netherlands. 2-2 is just fouled off right behind home plate. Andrew Reynolds flying solo on the broadcasts today and tomorrow. My partner Alex Cohen is back on his way home, flying towards Chicago today. We certainly wish Alex Cohen all the best and appreciate his company the last 7 days. There's a ball fouled off toward the left side and out of play, 2-2. And it was a week ago today when this tournament began. We don't really have a clearer picture of who will play in the World Championship final in Barranquilla on Sunday. Japan likely to be one of those teams, but who will their opponent be? It's the 2-2 taken high and away. It's a pretty good plate appearance here from Brandon Smith to lead things off in the first. He's worked the count full. Victor Ngope, the young 20-year-old shortstop, awaiting on deck. Patty Shack has had to throw quite a few pitches to the first man that he's faced. The payoff to Smith, high and away. That's a good plate appearance. Smith drawing the leadoff walk here in the top of the first. And now in will step Victor Ngope. And that lengthy plate appearance, Martin Muzik going to settle down as starting pitcher. Ngope 2 for 18 in the tournament as he stands in. Of course, the younger brother of big leaguer Gift Ngope, and they may have the runner picked off here. The throw down to second base in time, just off the bag, and a good tag applied there by Jakub Grapel. In fact, it was Martin Cervenka, the shortstop, who came over to apply the tag, and they pick off Brandon Smith after the spectacular plate appearance to put himself aboard to lead off the inning. That's disappointing for South Africa. Ngope couldn't get the bunt down, and they had Brandon Smith dead to rights. There's a swing and a miss now. The 0-1. It snowballs and 2 strikes. That certainly changed the complexion of this inning here in the first. And here comes the 0-2 to Ngope, missing low and away for a ball. Outfield left to right for the Czech Republic. Andrzej Novotny Halabek. Left to right in the infield, Jakub Kubica at third. Martin Cervenka, who applied the tag a moment ago, is at shortstop. Jakub Grapel at second base. And Andre Furco getting the start in the field today. We've seen him atop the mound. It's getting to see him in a position player role today. He plays first. Martin Muzik lays down the signs, and here's a base hit in the left field. This could be extra bases for Ngope. A wide turn at first. Gets about a third of the way to second base and thinks better of it. A good throw in from Andersek. The first 2 have reached. How big is that pickoff looking of Brandon Smith now? Could potentially be runners at the corners, nobody out. Instead, Ngope aboard at first. There's 1 gone, and Tyler Smith will stand it. It's a good piece of hitting from Victor Ngope with a base hit in the left. And now Tyler Smith, who's had a very good tournament, will stand in. He's 7 for 20. And the lefty watches the first. That's in for a called strike. Smith, 21 years of age, getting the start at third base today. Has doubled, he has tripled. 2 of his 7 base hits in this tournament have gone for extra bases. Patty Shack walked Smith, has allowed a single to Ngope. Nothing can run off the plate outside for a ball. South Africa is still in search of their first win of this U-23 World Cup. They come in at 0-6, 0-3 against consolation teams. Here's the 1-1. This one hit toward the right side, a base hit. Ngope on his way to third. He will hold up there. It's men at the corners, 1 out, and a good scoring opportunity for South Africa in the first. That's 3 consecutive hitters to reach base against Daniel Patty Shack. Nothing fancy here from the left-handed swinging Tyler Smith. Just puts good wood on the baseball and singles into right field, and a great scoring chance for South Africa here in the top of the first inning. And they've got the man at the plate to do some damage. Here is Rowan Eberson. Did not start yesterday, but came in and got an RBI and a pinch hit appearance. Here he swings and misses. He does have their only home run of the tournament, Rowan Eberson. His second would give South Africa a 3-0 lead in the first. Runner is going on 0-1, but he spoils it foul. Out of play toward the left, Eberson. And he's in the hole, no balls and 2 strikes. Was a young, baby-faced 20-year-old when he represented South Africa at the World Baseball Classic qualifier in Sydney. That was early in February 2016, in the lead up to the 2017 World Baseball Classic, where South Africa made it all the way to the qualifying final. 0-2, Eberson takes a fastball outside. A future big leaguer was on that team in Gifton Gope. And another potential big leaguer in Dylan Unsworth, a starting pitcher who has played in AAA the last couple of years. He's currently with the Angels organization. Could potentially be another. Rowan Eberson kicked around in the minor leagues for a season. He was signed by Minnesota back when he was 17 years of age. It's been a year in rookie ball. That was 4 or 5 years ago. He's only 22. Here's the 1-2, runner going again. This ball's crushed but foul. He had a big double late in the game against Australia in the WBC qualifying final on a Sunday afternoon in Sydney. The winner got into the World Baseball Classic. Australia ended up winning the game. South Africa just ran out of pitching at the end of that contest, but Rowan Eberson had a go-ahead double in the late stages. This one's fouled off again. Gifton Gope homer to that game. Dylan Unsworth, who I was talking about a moment ago, started the first game of that tournament against New Zealand. Struck out a lazy 8. In 8 innings of work. Like I said, I'm fairly confident that he will be the second African-born big leaguer, and it may be as early as 2019. Here's a ground ball hit up the middle, past the glove of a diving Cervenka and into center field. It's another RBI for Rowan Eberson, his 4th run driven in, and South Africa have taken an early 1-0 lead in the first. Now a seeing eye single that just squirts past the glove of Martin Cervenka. Hugs and hand pounds all around for Victor Ngope. Remember, the only out has come on a pickoff. Brandon Smith walked to begin the inning. He's the only man that's been retired as this one just sneaks past the glove of the shortstop. Even got his glove to it, Cervenka. And even more opportunity now is Nicholas Eagles, the 5th man to hit in the inning, comes to the plate. The first to him, taken low for a ball. Both of these teams reside in the Europe-Africa region of the World Baseball Softball Confederation rankings as far as regions are concerned. Here's the 1-0. And a swing and a miss. There will be one representative from Europe-Africa that will play in the Olympics. One of these 6 teams will come from the Europe-Africa qualifier. 2 will come from the Premier 12. This ball is hit high into left field. room for Andrusek. He's backing up on it. He makes the catch, but it'll be plenty deep enough to score Tyler Smith from third. It's a 1-out sacrifice fly from Nicholas Eagles, and it's 2-0 South Africa. A good job of taking advantage of opportunities, the South Africans here in the first. And in search of their first victory in the tournament, have an early leg up, leading it 2-0 with 2 gone in the first inning. Tyler Croft now, the left-handed swinger. He's the 6th man to hit in the inning. There's a swing and a miss, and the first from Patty Shack. 2 will qualify from the Premier 12, along with Japan. 1 from Europe, Africa, 1 from the Americas. And then the Intercontinental Qualifier, which will be the final chance for the 6th and last team to get into the Olympic qualifying field. What drama, what excitement lies ahead in 2019 and 2020 as part of the international baseball calendar. One of these 2 teams will have a chance to represent in the Olympics. Again, Europe, Africa will have a representative, as this one is flied toward foul territory, left side. That gets into the bullpen. In the top 2 finishing teams, I should say the top America's finisher and the top Asian finisher, which includes Australia, from the Premier 12, will punch their tickets to the Olympics. Those will be the first 2. The then winner of the Americas competition, the winner of the Europe-Africa competition, will also punch a ticket. 0-2. Called strike 3, and that will end the inning. Croft thought it was low, but Patty Shack gets the call, and the inning comes to a close. Well, South Africa, they play 2, they strand 1. Good first inning for South Africa as they look for their first win. We go to the last of the first. It's South Africa 2, Czech Republic coming up.
El bateador en turno es Radim Novotny, centerfield, 56.
Home half of the first inning, South Africa leading 2-0 as the Czech Republic come to the plate for the first time. Radim Novotny will be leading. Garth Cahill, who is making his 3rd appearance, 2nd start of this tournament. And Radim Novotny, 4 of 18. The right-hander stands in. Takes the first low for a ball. Novotny 4 for 18. He has doubled. Strikeouts have been the bugaboo for the right-handed swinging leadoff man. Vladimir Schluk, the manager of this Czech Republic team, has tried him all over the lineup in this tournament. Here's a bouncing ball towards short. Good pickup by Ngope, and a strong throw across. That's a good start defensively. There's 1 away in the last of the first. Well, he is cut from the same cloth as his older brother, isn't he? Victor Ngope. Have a look how smooth the 20-year-old is. Ranging to his right. Sets and throws. Shows off the strong throwing arm. So 1 up, 1 down. Here is Jakub Kubica, left-handed swinging at 3rd baseman. He takes low for a ball. Kubica just one base hit to speak of in this tournament. It did go for extra bases. It's a very young Czech Republic team. 3 19-year-olds in the lineup, 2 20-year-olds. Half their lineup would be eligible to play in this tournament a couple of years from now. So he's a called strike. The 2-0, rather 1-1 I should say, from Cahill. This misses low now. 2 balls and a strike. Cahill's start earlier in the tournament came against Colombia, a team that is also here in Monteria for the consolation round. That game happened in the opening round in Barranquilla. So 2-1 is a called strike, counting 4 innings, 10 hits, 6 earned runs. He did strike out 5 in that start against Colombia. He has also thrown another inning and 2/3 in relief. So he has been busy atop the mound for Neil Adonis. The 2-2, he paused at the top of his delivery there and just missed on the 2-2 to Kubica. And the count is now full with Martin Cervenka waiting on deck. It was an interesting delivery, doesn't he, the right-hander? Here's a swing and a miss. Good start for Garth Cahill. Hits the ground ball, now the strikeout, and there's 2 away to begin things in the last of the first.
Al bate Martín República, shortstop.
Martin Cervenka 7 for 17. He's been their best bat. And here he hits with no one aboard and 2 outs. And a couple of quick strikes coming from Garth Cahill. Well, he's looked good, the right-hander. He's varying his delivery speeds, works exclusively from the stretch, even as a starting pitcher. On the first base side of the rubber, the 0-2. Low for a ball, trying to get Cervenka to chase. It's a South African pitching staff that has been roughed up, in all honesty, throughout this tournament. An ERA on the plus side of 12. Teams hitting .344 against them. Garth Cahill has looked good early, and here he gets Cervenka to swing and miss. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Cahill, and he retires him in order. A good start defensively and atop the mound for South Africa. Plus, they lead it 2-0. Let's go to the second in Monteria. Buscando saber cómo está, preguntando si debe saber y entender el porqué ya decisión. So Daniel Patty Shack back out for another inning of work as we go to the second inning in Monteria. Andrew Reynolds joining you for all 3 games today and all 3 tomorrow. Thanks for keeping me company here at Estadio de Béisbol de 18 de Junio. Hayden Matthew leading things off. He takes a big hack first from Patty Shack. Fouls it off and out of play behind home plate. It'll be Matthew, Halverson, and Simon. The latter third of the order for Neil Adonis' South African team as they lead 2-0. Here's the 0-1. Matthew takes low for a ball, 1 ball and 1 strike. Talking a little bit about the Olympic programming last inning. WBSC about 8 or 9 months ago or so, outlining what the Olympic qualifiers will be. As Matthew takes a strike, it's now 1-2. And while it gives a great lead in for the Olympics, it's also going to give us a lot of fun baseball in 2019 and 2020. Here's a ground ball towards short. That's picked up by Cervenka, who throws on the run. That's a good play. And Matthew is retired. There's 1 gone here in the second. The Premier 12 tournament, which will take place about 12 months from now, will be the kickoff point for 2020 in Tokyo. The top finishing Asian team, including Australia, will get an automatic berth, and the top finishing team from the Americas will get an automatic berth as well. He's here now is Joshua Halverson. He takes high for a ball. He's 2 for 10 in this tournament. So what will ensue in the early months of 2020 then following will be the Americas Championship, the Europe-Africa qualifier, and then a last chance international qualifier. That last chance international qualifier will be comprised of top finishers that don't win the Europe-Africa tournament, top finishers that don't win the Americas tournament. This one's popped up foul territory. It's playable over there for Kubica, and he makes the catch. That's 4 straight now, set down by Daniel Paddyshak, who starts to settle in. There's 2 away here in the second inning. Halverson just getting well underneath that baseball. Kubica making sure that he wasn't getting close to that fence over there down the third base line. Makes the catch with plenty of room. There's 2 away. That international qualifiers talked about will be comprised of the top finishers that don't win the Americas Championship. Same with the Asian Championship, Europe-Africa, and then the Oceania qualifier, which Australia will have to go to. Australia playing in this tournament, and if they don't qualify via the Premier 12, will have to qualify before getting into that intercontinental qualifier. For mine, that's going to be a special tournament. That'll be a lot of fun. Teams from all around the world, not just regional rivals, but teams from all around the world playing for the final 6th spot in the Olympics. Here's the bouncing ball toward third. That's a good pickup by Kubica. The strong throw across and the tag applied by Andre Furco. And the inning is over. A 1-2-3 frame for Patty Shack. A good bounce back after allowing the 2 runs in the first. We go to the last of the second. 2-0 South Africa.
El turno al bate es para Martín Musi.
Garth Cahill heads back out to the mound after a 1-2-3 home half of the second inning. He will face the middle third of the order. For Czech Republic, Martin Muzik leading off. He takes a big hack at the first from Cahill. Muzik, Grapel, and Andre Furco. Against that young man, the 23-year-old right-hander has started this game very, very well for South Africa. The 0-1. This ball's hit hard into center field. It's sending Simon back toward the wall, and that ball is gone. Second home run of the U-23 World Cup for Martin Muzik. It's a leadoff shot in the second. And the Czech Republic are on the board. It's 3-1. Well, he hit the game-tying home run against the Dominican Republic with a Czech. Had a legitimate chance to win that game, and here he goes deep for the second time this week. Simon looking up, watches it sail over the fence, and it's 3-1. The Czech Republic on the board. I should say 2-1 is the correct score. Helps when you look at the scoreboard, doesn't it? Here's Jakub Grapel now. With a single swing of the bat, he could tie this ball game up. Grapel is homered as well. He's 5 for 18 all up. All of the Czech Republic's games played here in Monteria. They were part of Group B and now in the consolation round. This one's fouled back behind the screen. Good tournament from Martin Muzik. He's now 6 for 21. 3 of those 6 base hits have gone for extra bases, including 2 home runs. The 2-1 swung out and missed. Again, that first home run was a 3-run job in a 5-2 game against the Dominican Republic that tied it at 5. Czech Republic battled all the way to extras, even scored in the top of the 10th inning before the Dominican Republic scored a pair of times in the last of the 10th. They checked down with Yoshihino Hironori. Say that Grapel did not go around, and the count now full. A wry smile there from Garth Cahill. He thought he had his 3rd strikeout. So here's the payoff. It's spoiled off foul down the right field line. Still yet to hear where any of the Olympic qualifiers will be held. I'm sure that information will start to come out in 2019. It will start to trickle through. Of course, summer of 2020 is where things will all culminate. The payoff pitch called strike 3, 3rd K for Cahill. That's a good bounce back after allowing the leadoff long ball to Martin Muzik, and there's one away. And the Premier 12 teams will be determinant on the top 12 after 2018. The only way that there could have been a real shakeup in that department is if Panama had played in this tournament. Panama, Nicaragua, or Italy potentially would have had a small chance to perhaps jump the Dominican Republic for the 12th and final spot. But the Dominican Republic playing in the super round of this tournament. This one skirts under the glove of Tyler Smith over at 3rd. That will likely be a base hit for Andre Furco, his 2nd of the tournament. Now they're going to give an error. I'm done trying to guess. There was a play identical to that yesterday. The ball didn't kick up off the infield grass. The infielder thought it would. It skirted under his glove, and it was given a base hit. Thursday, it's a base hit. Friday, it's an error. Here's Yuri Vavarusa batting. This is his first plate appearance of the tournament. He takes a called strike. You've seen Vavarusa atop the mound a couple of times for the Czech Republic. With Andre Furco at first base, who has also spent his fair share of time atop the mound. Here now is Yuri Vavarusa, a pitcher, getting his first plate appearance. He takes low in the 0-1. That'll even the count. Some big news coming out of Barranquilla yesterday. The WBSC has unveiled a brand new Baseball 5 court just right outside of Estadio de Edgar Renteria. This one's fouled off toward the right side. It's the ball in 2 strikes. Of course, leaving a lasting legacy from this tournament. Sort of a neighborhood Baseball 5 court to be used by the locals. There's that ballpark built in the neighborhood where Edgar Renteria grew up in Barranquilla. 1-2, a called 3rd strike. That's the 4th K for Garth Cahill. And there's 2 away for Martin Hallebeck. Froze him with a pitch on the inner edge. And now Hallebeck, who's still in search of his first base hit of this World Cup, stands in from the left side. 1 on, 2 out. Baseball 5 introduced by the World Baseball Softball Confederation as a way to get involved, a way to play baseball. You don't need much. Just your hand to use as a bat, maybe your other hand to use as a glove. And away you go. It's fast-paced. Everyone is involved, sort of a baseball game. It potentially serve as the future for young kids to get interested in the game of baseball. This one is hit foul toward the dugout and actually into that first base dugout. And Martin Hallebeck is now in the hole, 0-2. WBSC has a mission to make baseball a 1 billion strong game as far as fans, participants, those that are close to the game. This one missing inside, just off the plate. A ball and 2 strikes. I think a lot of times the game of soccer gets the moniker as being the world's game, but I'd put baseball up against any sport in the world as the 1-2 is tapped foul off toward the right side. As a matter of fact, baseball worldwide, I believe, outdraws soccer as far as professional attendance is concerned. And it helps when you have 3 major leagues in Asia. Of course, Major League Baseball in the U.S., where some teams draw 3 million on their own. And then minor league baseball as well. The 1-2 is foul. It'll get out of play off toward the left side. But that mission of making baseball a billion-strong community will be strengthened by the Baseball 5 initiative from the World Baseball Softball Confederation. And no doubt that many youngsters for years to come will first be introduced to the game of baseball with that Baseball 5 court that was dedicated just outside of Estadio Edgar Renteria yesterday. Here's the ball missing low. It'll be a stolen base for Andre Furco. He was off with a pitch. Looking back with a wry smile. It's the 5th stolen base for the Czech Republic in the tournament. No throw from that young man, Hayden Matthew. Cahill will try to pitch his way out of the inning here. He struck out 4. We caught Furco off base, but there's no one covering the bag. Here's a ground ball toward Ngope. Another play on the run, throws and gets the out. And we will go to the 3rd. Second home run of the tournament from Martin Muzik. Gets the Czech Republic on the board. It's 2-1 through 2. Top of the third inning, a 2-1 ball game. South Africa looking for their first win of the tournament. At the top of the order due up here in the third. It's Brandon Smith, who began the game with a walk after working a full count, was in the hole, 0-2 in that plate appearance. Walked to begin the ball game, but then was picked off. Victor Ngope tried to get a bunt down and couldn't do it. And he had Smith caught between first and second base. Two runs coming in that first inning for South Africa. It's been enough to keep the lead to this point. Martin Muzik's solo home run last half inning, the lone tally for the Czech Republic. And here's a called strike. It's now 2-1. Smith 3 for 14 in the tournament. And to get himself aboard again, the 2-1. He pops it up. It's shallow center. This will be trouble. That's going to be a base hit. A bloop single from Brandon Smith, his fourth hit of the tournament. With Radim Novotny playing relatively deep in center field, that bloop just right in front of him. Nothing he or Martin Cervenka, the shortstop, were able to do. And here's Victor Ngope now. So Smith aboard for the second time. He'll try to not get himself picked off. Here's a bouncing ball towards short. This could be two. Cervenka to second. The turn by Grapel in time. 6-4-3. And again, Brandon Smith's leadoff efforts thwarted by Victor Ngope. He may poke him in the dugout and say, "Come on, man." And Ngope, despite running well, that was a good turn by Cervenka and Grapel up the middle for the Czech Republic, and there's two away. Tyler Smith, who singled and scored as part of the two-run first inning. Here's the 0-1. It's lined, but right at Furco. And it's another good inning of work for Daniel Paddyshak. He pitches around the leadoff single, gets the ground ball double play. We're midway through three. It's a good one in our first of the day. South Africa leading 2-1.
Jakub Ondrasek, left field, es el bateador en turno.
9-1-2 due up for the Czech Republic as we go to the last of the third inning in Monteria. Andrew Reynolds, thanks for hanging out with me on a Thursday morning as we approach the 11 o'clock hour here in Colombia. Jakub Ondrasek leading things off against Garth Cahill, whose lone blemish to this point has been the solo home run from Martin Muzik. He'll face Ondrasek, Novotny, and Kubica. 9-1-2 in the order. For nothing and one tapped foul off toward third base. Well, let us know where you might be joining us from. Plenty of chatter going on in the live broadcast chat line. Virgilio Martinez Erickson has been chiming in, saying that he likes Colombian culture. I oblige. We've got a lot of fun here in Colombia the last few days. There's a fly ball that lands just foul down the right field line. Jakub Andrusek, 1 for 14 all up in this tournament, getting a chance to hit for the first time today. And the locals both here and in Barranquilla have been quite friendly to all of us that have invaded their country for this U-23 Baseball World Cup. They've had really large crowds for most of the night ball games in Barranquilla. We had a really big crowd here on opening night when Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic faced off on the first Friday night of the tournament. I would suspect that the crowd in the last game tonight and tomorrow night will be big as well, with Colombia playing the night games. And here's a base hit with 1 out. To lead things off for Andrusek, he takes a big turnaround first. Strong throw from Croft. Actually missed his leadoff man, but Andrusek remains at first base. And here's a leadoff single for the Czech Republic here in the home half of the 5th inning. It's the second hit now that Cahill has given up. The solo shot to Martin Musi, and now that leadoff single to Jakub Andrusek. And here is Radim Novotny, who will hit for the second time. He grounded out to short to begin things in the home half of the 1st. Swinging first pitch, hits it into the gap in right center field, and plenty of room for Halverson, who's over to make the catch. Andrusek retreating back to first base. There's 1 away. And this is a tournament that was originally slated to be hosted in Nicaragua, was moved to Colombia 2 or 3 months before the tournament commenced. The organizing committee, the technical crew, the WBSC, all involved have done a phenomenal job of making this tournament what it has become. We've seen some great baseball. We've had 2 really good facilities. The Estadio Edgar Renteria in Barranquilla and the Estadio de Béisbol 18 de Junio here in Monteria. Was here the first day in Barranquilla at the Hotel Internacional in Monteria, chatting with one of the locals about Monteria. Asked if he had ever been and if he liked Monteria, and he immediately said yes. It's a great place. He said, you'll be hot, the people are friendly, the food is good, and the baseball will be even better, and he was not wrong. We have had a special time here in Colombia the last week plus. This is now the 8th day all up of this tournament, 7th day of action here in Monteria. But 8 days since we started last Friday. Here's a throw over to first. Jakub Andrusek diving back in safely. It's a 1-1 instead of another check on the runner. This was closer. By virtue of Rowan Eberson playing it, he was almost a foot or 2 off the bag when he applied that tag. It's deceptive to look like Andrusek was backing in plenty of time, but that play was closer than what it looked like. Runner is going, but it's spoiled foul off toward the left side. It's a ball and 2 strikes. I never ventured to South America prior to this U-23 World Cup, and after visiting Colombia, I'll tell you what, I'll be back. And it may be sooner rather than later. If you've not visited this part of the world, I very much recommend it. Brush up on your Spanish before you come. I had my own personal translator in Alex Cohen the last few days. He's flown back to Chicago for some prior engagements. He will not join me the final 2 days of this tournament, so perhaps I'll need to brush up on my own Spanish. This one's flying into left field, a chance, but it'll land foul harmlessly on the warning track near the bullpen. We'll do it again at a ball and 2 strikes. I know one of our colleagues who is calling games in Barranquilla, Tyler Mon, has already said that he's going to stay on for a few days after this tournament. Perhaps go check out Cartagena. Just an hour west or so of Barranquilla. He doesn't want to leave Colombia. There's been a few people that I've spoken to that share that sentiment. Like I say, the friendly people, the outstanding food, the good baseball, the great weather that we have seen. Why not come pay it a visit? As the 1-2 is foul at home plate. Pretty good plate appearance being put together here by Kubica. Fouling pitches off and a 2-strike count against Garth Cahill, really starting to elevate that pitch count for the right-hander. Cahill had a simple 1-2-3 first. Gave up a solo shot to lead off the second, then pitched around an error. Is now trying to pitch around a leadoff single here in the 3rd inning with Jakub Andrusek aboard. He'll check on him once again. Cahill approaching the half-century mark in terms of pitches thrown. His counterpart, Daniel Padishak, has thrown 46 pitches through 3 defensive innings, despite having that tough first. There's a strike 3, swung out and missed, and the throw gets away. Andrusek will stay put at second base, though. It'll be a stolen base for Andrusek. It's the 2nd stolen base of the day for the Czech Republic. But a strikeout for Kubica. There's 2 away with the man in scoring position, and then will step Martin Cervenka. Here was that throw. There was really no chance for Ngope, who was coming over to cover from shortstop. Stolen bases number 5 and 6 in the tournament for the Czech Republic. Andre Furco swiped a bag in the 2nd, and now Andrusek steals one of his own in the 3rd inning. And here now is Martin Cervenka, who struck out to end the 1st. Takes the 1st for a ball. That one well blocked behind home plate by Hayden Matthew. Czech Republic team who are looking to put a win streak together. They were 0-5 coming into the consolation round, but got a win yesterday against their regional foe in the Netherlands, a 4-3 final in that ballgame. They find themselves trailing, but still a long way to go in this one. The 1-0 from Cahill. Instead, he'll look the runner back to second base. Czech Republic getting that win over regional rival and European rival, the Netherlands, yesterday, playing their Europe-Africa region foe in South Africa this morning. Here's a 1-0. Tried to lay down a bunt, did Cervenka, but he pulls back. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Could potentially see these 2 teams again in the Europe-Africa qualifier like we spoke about a couple of innings ago. It'll likely take place either very late 2019 or early 2020 in the lead up to the Tokyo Olympics. We will have a Europe-Africa representative in 2020. That is going to be an exclusive field of baseball playing nations, just 6 teams to compete at the Tokyo Dome as part of the 2020 Olympics. That will be a spectacle, I can promise you that. The 2-1 taken low again, 2-0 rather. Now 3 balls and no strikes. Martin Muzik, sensing that he may get a plate appearance here, is already starting to take the shin guards off. The catcher coming to the on-deck circle with his shin guards. And Martin Cervenka now in a 3-ball, no-strike count. Martin Muzik has the utmost confidence that the man hitting in front of him will get on base. He's already taken the shin guards back to the dugout. This is awesome. I don't know that I've ever seen that. And it pays off because there's a 4-pitch walk. And now Martin Muzik will come to the plate with runners at first and second, 2 out.
El turno de bate ahora es para Martin Muzik.
Well, confidence and success
Con el número 52, Martin Muzik.
are anticipatory, I suppose, and that's what we saw with Martin Muzik, who was on deck just 30 seconds ago, and his shin guards on him, and that count went 3 balls and no strikes to Cervenka. He started to remove him. He could see the future. Knew Cervenka was going to get on base. First to Muzik, missing off the plate outside for a ball. He homered the last time he came to the plate. It was last inning. He's hit 2 in this tournament. One was to tie it against the Dominican Republic. The other in the home half of the second inning of this one. His 3rd home run would give the Czech Republic a lead. He was trying to send one over the fence there, leaving the count a ball and a strike. So Cahill really having to labor for the first time in this game. It's an important at-bat for both sides in the early going. The 1-1 to Muzik, just taps it foul off the end of the bat. Muzik 6 for 21. He is homered twice, he's doubled, he's driven in 6. Leads the team in home runs, leads the team in runs driven in. Cahill trying to send us to the 4th. The 1-2 high fastball, waved at and miss. And the threat is averted. Good work by Cahill. 2 runners aboard. He strikes out Muzik. We will go to the 4th. 2-1 lead for South Africa.
Rowan Everson es el bateador en turno. Primera base.
Rowan Everson leading things off as we go to the 4th inning. A 2-1 lead for South Africa as they come to the plate. Everson hitting for the 2nd time in this one. Takes off the plate outside for a ball. Everson drove in a run back in the 1st. The first run of the game to cross. Nicholas Eagles, who was awaiting on deck, drove in the 2nd with a sacrifice fly. Here's a big hack at the 1-0, the count even. Everson taking on 1-1 as well. That misses off the plate outside for a ball. Everson, 22 years of age, first represented South Africa on the world stage at the World Baseball Classic qualifier when he was just 20. 20 years of age playing for South Africa. That was a good team that they put together that year. Obviously, it was very good. They nearly knocked off the homestanding Australia to get to the World Baseball Classic. Here's a walk issued to Rowan Emerson to begin the fourth. And he's aboard for Nicholas Eagles. Of course, Gifton Gope was on that team. Went on to make his Major League debut in 2017. That tournament was held in 2016 in Sydney as a qualifier for the 2017 World Baseball Classic. So in Gope, a year after representing South Africa, was a teammate of Rowan Emerson's. The year after is when he made his Major League debut, played 28 games for Pittsburgh, and then was signed by Toronto the following year. Played 13 times for the Toronto Blue Jays. This past Major League Baseball season, this one's fouled off toward the right side. It's quickly 0-2 on Eagles, who had a sacrifice fly that drove in Tyler Smith back in the first. Gifton Gope will compete in the Australian Baseball League in the coming weeks. That season getting started on November 15th down under. We'll see the national team take on the Netherlands a little bit later on today. Here's a fly ball into center field, a diving attempt made by Novotny. He can't get there. And it falls into center. Immediately signaling hit, the first of the ball game for Eagles, his third of the tournament. Here comes South Africa again. A walk from Emerson, a two-strike single from Nicholas Eagles. Good effort there from Radim Novotny, just couldn't quite make the catch in the first two of
Gobierno de la ciudad.
So it fouled off behind home plate by Croft. He struck out to end the first. Again, Gifton Gope was signed by Pittsburgh originally, made his Major League debut with the Pirates in 2017. Following 2017, they traded him to the Blue Jays for a player to be named later. So here's a bunt laid down. This is a good one. It's going to be a tough play, and it gets away. It's going to score a run for South Africa. Gets underneath the tarp down that first baseline. Tyler Croft laying down a perfect bunt, forced a bit of panic from Daniel Paddyshak. A run comes home to score. And South Africa will have runners at second and third base. Still nobody out of the inning, leading 3-1. See, it was a great bunt down the third base line. Sense of urgency from Paddyshak, but just not a good throw to first. And as the ball sort of skirted underneath that tarp down the right field line. The runners stay put. Yeah, this one's fouled off toward the right side. Czech Republic probably fortunate that that ball got underneath the tarp. It could have scored two. Hayden Matthew has the opportunity to do that himself. Now a 3-1 ball game. 2 runs in the first, now 1 here in the fourth for South Africa. Hayden Matthew with just 1 base hit, 0 for 1 today. Takes this off the plate outside, ball 2. Make it 2 balls and a strike now. A ball and a strike. Well, we've got 27 innings to call today. Already tongue-tied. We'll get it right eventually. We've got plenty of time. The 1-1 taken high. Now 2 balls and a strike. There we go. We corrected ourselves. Still early. They need another cup of coffee in Monterey. The nice folks down there. Hall are listening. Maybe they could deliver one. 2-1, fouled off behind home plate. That'll even things. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Matthew led off the second inning. Grounded out to Cervenka at shortstop. Infield is playing in. They try to keep that runner at third base. Opportunity to blow things open perhaps here in the 4th inning for South Africa. Big pitch here, the 2-2, taken high. Josh Halverson is the man who awaits on deck. It's the next to Hayden Matthey will be the payoff. The delivery from Patty Shack, and it's popped up right side. It's slicing and foul. It'll get into the seats. And we'll do it again at 3 balls and 2 strikes. The 7th pitch of the at-bat upcoming. Patty Shack had been efficient in the 2nd and 3rd after having to labor in the 1st. This will be his 61st pitch of the ball game. The payoff, swung out and missed. He needed that. It's the 2nd strikeout for Daniel Patty Shack. Does so with runners at 2nd and 3rd, and there's 1 away. Payoff pitch, off speed, and see the disappointment in Josh Halverson's face. And Hayden Matthews, I should say. We're going to get a meeting atop the mound. John Hussey, the pitching coach, coming out for the Czech Republic. A conversation with Patty Shack. There is some activity in the Czech Republic. Right-handers up and
Montería, la ciudad verde y sostenible de Colombia. Quiere y cuida tu ciudad. Monterianízate. Alcaldía de Montería, gobierno de la ciudad.
It's like Philip Kapka is the right-handers beginning to loosen for the Czech Republic, but no pitching change imminent as John Hussey will exit. And Josh Halverson will enter. Runners still at 2nd and 3rd, 1 out here.
Joshua Halverson.
Halverson popped up to 3rd base. His only previous plate appearance today, he is 2 for 11, all up in this World Cup. The first 2 well blocked behind home plate. It's a good job by Muzik. Halverson, a big boy. 186 centimeters tall, 100 kilos. The 1-0. Outside, 2 balls, no strikes. $100 kilos would translate into about 220 pounds, and they're going to put him on base. 2-0, they don't want to risk Patty Shack grooving something in the strike zone, so they put him aboard with the intentional walk after 2 pitches. And now Ruin Simon, the 9-hole hitter, will hit with the bases loaded and 1 out of the inning. Grounded out to 3rd to end the 2nd. He has 2 base hits. He's not driven in a run. Boy, does he have a chance to do so here. Takes the 1st for a called strike off speed. 20-year-old right-handed swinger. This is the 2nd time that we're getting to see South Africa. We did not see him in yesterday's ball game. The game they played against Puerto Rico. This one tapped foul off toward the left side, and the count's 0-2. Getting the start in center field, hitting 9th. Yesterday, that was Tepiwa Nyameawo, hitting 9th and playing center field. Today it's Simon. The 0-2. Hit in and out of the glove of Martin Muzik. Simon just getting a piece to stay alive. We'll do it again 0-2. And not before Muzik takes a slow walk to deliver his pitcher a new baseball and have a quick chat. The 0-2 hit on the ground toward 3rd. Kubica comes home, and they get the force out there. That's all they'll get. So for the time being, the intentional walk works out. Simon grounds into a force. Relatively easy play, 5-2 to retire Eagles from 3rd, but the bases will remain loaded. And 2 outs for Brandon Smith, the leadoff hitter.
Brandon Smith es el
Boy,
bateador
what a
nacional.
job this would be by Daniel Paddyshak if he's able to pitch around runners at second and third and nobody out. First pitch to Smith, taken high for a ball. This left-handed designated hitter, just 17 years of age, won't turn 18 until December. The 1-0 called strike, framed well by Muzik. And the count even. How about being 17 years of age? He'll still have an opportunity to participate in 2 more of these tournaments if he so chooses. 2020 and 2022. The 1-1 that just misses off the outer edge, and it's 2 balls and a strike. He has walked, he has singled. He's been aboard 5 times in this U-23 World Cup. The 2-1 to the 17-year-old, hit the opposite way and threw for a base hit. Croft scores. Here comes the other, and it's a sliding score from Josh Halverson. And South Africa delivers a 2-run base hit with a pair of outs for the 17-year-old Brandon Smith. And it's 5-1. South Africa put up a 3 spot in the 4th. And that will spell the end of the afternoon for Daniel Paddyshak. Well, he put himself to within a pitch of getting out of the jam, but the 17-year-old left-handed swinging Brandon Smith delivers. And Vladimir Sloop on your screen now takes the baseball from Daniel Paddyshak. So we will have a pitching change. South Africa have added 3 here in the 4th. Czech Republic going to the pen.
Hay nuevo lanzador en el equipo de Checa República. Philip Copa, del 43, es el nuevo lanzador. Sale del partido Daniel Paddyshak.
So Victor Ngope will hit with runners at first and second, 2 out. This pitch gets away, and 1 runner will advance. Simon from second moves over to third. However, Brandon Smith stayed put over at first base. Martin Muzik kept it in front, but it just trickled away from him off toward the third base side. So it's now runners at the corners with 2 outs. The new pitcher for the Czech Republic is Filip Kapka, replacing Daniel Paddyshak. Trying to record this 3rd and final out of the 4th inning, and Ngope, the 8th man to come to the plate. Here's a 1-0, and it's hit toward the second baseman. They had him positioned well. Grape will underhand flip to Cervenka, And the inning comes to a close. A 3-run inning in the top of the fourth. Capped off with a 2-run double from Brandon Smith. We go to the last of the fourth inning. It's been all South Africa looking for their first win, leading 5-1.
Jacob Grell, segunda base, es el bateador de turno, número 82.
Jakub Grapel standing in to lead us off in the home half of the fourth inning. It's a 5-1 lead for South Africa. Grapel struck out looking in his previous at-bat. That was in the second inning, immediately following the solo shot from Martin Muzik. That is the lone run the Czech Republic have pushed across to this point, trailing 5-1 as South Africa look for their first victory of this tournament. Grapel takes a ball, and it's 2-0. It'll be Jakub Grapel, Andre Furco, and Yuri Vabarusa. As the Czech Republic look to claw their way back, trailing by 4 runs here in the fourth. 2-0, taken high to Grapel. Garth Cahill in danger of walking the leadoff man. He has walked one. It was Martin Cervenko with 2 outs last inning. See if Grapel's letting loose on 3-0. He's not. He takes it inside. Third walk the Eagles draw this tournament. It's a leadoff job here in the fourth.
Es el bateador en turno, el hombre.
It's the third consecutive inning now. The Czech Republic could put the leadoff man on base, and here's Andre Furco. Well, he's another big boy, isn't he? Nearly 200 centimeters tall, nearly 100 kilos, Andre Furco. Seen him atop the mound a couple of times. He's a daunting figure standing atop the rubber, 60 feet 6 inches away from home plate. Getting a start in a position player's role today, playing first base. Made a couple of good plays over there at first. This one misses off the plate outside to him to even the count, a ball and a strike. He reached on an error and stole a base back in the second. He is 1 for 5 at the plate all up in this tournament and has also appeared on the mound twice. The 1-1. Broke his bat, a ground ball to short, and Gope goes to second for 1. The turn is not in time. And immediately Rowan Eberson looking over for Neil Adonis to say, let's put the headset on and see if we can overturn this thing. That was an immediate reaction from Rowan Eberson. And this one will go under the microscope. We're going to go to a review. Let's have a look. Make the mind up for yourself. He's out. Bang, bang at first base right in front of Yoshihiro Hironori. But he'll be out. This will get overturned, and that'll be a ground ball double play. What work on the smooth fielding shortstop, Victor Ngope. Younger brother of the big leaguer, as we've talked about a few times over the last couple of days. And he is cut from the same cloth. There he is on the right-hand side of your screen. That was credit to Ngope to be able to get this thing turned, and there's the story. It's in the back of the glove before the foot's down. Eberson knew it. He immediately turned to the first base dugout. Made a signal as though to put a headset on. And Neil Adonis obliged. I think this thing will get overturned. Ernesto Del Risco Velasquez, the home plate umpire, and Yoshihino Hironori are in the third base dugout. They come out. The crew chief is Del Risco Velasquez, and he does make the call. So that was expected. The call is overturned. It will be a 6-4-3 double play, and all the credit in the world goes to Victor Ngope for starting that thing. A good turn by Nicholas Eagles at second base. The leadoff walk is erased, and there's 2 away.
Iribra Brusa, bateador designado.
So each club is grounded into a double play in the ball game, and now Yuri Vabarusa will stand in. Babarusa has struck out. He's 0 for 1. Takes the first for a called strike. And prior to this inning, Garth Cahill had struck out 2 in each of the first 3 innings. 6 strikeouts now through 3 2/3. He's starting to rack up the strikeout total in his start against Colombia as well. He certainly can get the Ks. Here's a swing and a miss. And this is his 3rd appearance of the tournament. It is his 2nd start. 5 2/3 innings total coming into today. Just 4 of those in a starting role. Looking for his 7th strikeout. The 1-2 is hit back up the middle. That's where Ngope lives. The shortstop throws on the run. A smooth play from Victor Ngope. The inning is over. Garth Cahill gets a double play. Pitches around the leadoff walk. Let's go to the 5th. 5-1 South Africa. This thing looked destined to be an out, but it just kept slicing and slicing, and Andrusek couldn't get to the baseball.
Es el bateador en turno, primera base.
So a leadoff double for Tyler Smith. Here's Rowan Emerson now with another RBI chance. He's driven in one already today. He takes a big hack at the first. And he has homered in the tournament. He's yet to be retired this morning. He has singled and walked. Drove in the game's first run back in the first inning. Here's the 0-1. It's tapped foul off toward the right side. 2 more games to come your way today. 27 innings of action for me. Australia will take on the Netherlands at our 3 o'clock local time start. And the nightcap should be a good one. Colombia taking on Puerto Rico. The next to Emerson. He hits it off the hands. Got jammed a bit. Ground ball to Jakub Grapel, who throws on to first. Tyler Smith down to third base, and there's one away.
Nicolás Eagles.
Plenty of green tea and honey. Keep the old voice box nice and smooth as I endeavor to call 27 innings of baseball today and tomorrow. Not asking for anyone to feel sorry for me. I'm just maybe asking for a cup of coffee, if it's possible. And Neil Adonis is going to come in and have a quick chat to Ernesto Del Risco Velasquez. Not sure what this is about. He's obviously inquiring about something. But a very quick chat, and now Nicholas Eagles, who has driven in a run on a sac fly and singled, takes the first low for a ball. Eagles was thrown out on the plate, and that ball hit in the infield by Ruin Simon last inning when it looked like Daniel Paddyshak might have a chance to get out of the jam with minimal damage. One run had crossed. It was a pitch away from sending us to the bottom of the 4th inning with a 3-1 game. That's when Brandon Smith delivered with that seeing eye single through the infield that scored 2 to give us our current score of 5-1. Here's a 2-0 from Eagles. Low for a ball. 3 balls and no strikes now with Tyler Croft awaiting on deck. .3-0 in for a called strike. Ernie Banks' old line of let's play 2. Well, let's play 3 today, shall we? We've done that for the last 6 days here in Monterrey. We'll do it again today. This one's fouled off toward the left side. Famous line that resonates far and wide to this day from Ernie Banks, the legendary Chicago Cub. It's a beautiful day for baseball. Let's play 2. Beautiful day for baseball in Monterrey. Let's play 3. Ground ball left side. That's off the glove of Kubica. It'll score a run. And that ball was hit hard. A great diving effort by Kubica at third. He knocked it down. It'll go as a base hit, and rightfully so. Second RBI of the day, 3rd of the tournament for Nicholas Eagles, and it's now 6-1 South Africa. Just got a glove on it, and it trickled away from him. It has been all South Africa now. 7 base hits. Here's Tyler Croft hitting. Checks his swing at the first. It's taken high. I believe it was also Ernie Banks that coined the moniker that still sticks at Wrigley Field, of the friendly confines. Might have to look that up, but certain that it was him that would always say it's a beautiful day for baseball, let's play two, but I'm fairly confident that he coined the phrase the friendly confines to describe Wrigley Field. First ballot Hall of Fame inductee in 1977. Well, he was an infectious player, wasn't he? Would have loved to have been around at the time when Ernie Banks was playing baseball. Here's a base hit into shallow center field. Station to station ball being played here by South Africa. Eagles moves up to second base. Croft stops at first. They just keep the line moving, don't they, South Africa? They've had an inning where they've sent 6 to the plate. They've sent 8 to the plate. Here, the 5th man of the inning will bat. There's only 1 away. And here's Hayden Matthew, who is grounded out to short and struck out. He's 0 for 2. And it was indeed Ernie Banks that coined the phrase the friendly confines. I need to back myself more often, don't I? Don't question yourself. Your first instinct's usually always correct. This one missing low for a ball. He played 19 seasons with the Cubs. He joined them in 1953. Back-to-back MVP awards in 58 and 59. And after he retired, his number 14 was retired by the Chicago Cubs in 1982. Here's a called strike on a 1-0. That'll leave the count. Passed away just a couple of years ago at the age of 83. That famous statue outside of Wrigley Field. The infectious Ernie Banks. This one swung on a missed. 1-1 is now 1-2. Matthew, a ground out to shortstop and a strikeout. He's 1 for 13 collectively in this U-23 World Cup. Kapka just trying to limit the damage. Here's a sharply hit ground ball to short. It could be 2. Cervenka the flip, the turn at second base by Grapel. And that's just what the doctor ordered for the Czech Republic. High fives all around for the middle infielders. Let's go to the last of the 5th. South Africa pick up another. They lead at 6-1. Martin Hallebeck getting set to lead things off for the Czech Republic as we go to the last of the 5th inning. Hallebeck takes low for a ball. It will be the 8, 9, and 1 spots due up for the Czech Republic, finding themselves trailing 6-1. The South Africa looking for win number 1 of this tournament. Here's a bouncing ball towards second base. Nearly gobbles up Eagles, but he gobbles it up instead. Throws on, and there's one away. Been impressed with what I've seen to this point for Garth Cahill. Despite getting lit up a bit against Colombia as part of the opening round, he's been very good against the Czech Republic here, 4 1/3 now. He's allowed just the 2 base hits. Has struck out a total of 6. Here's Jakub Andrusek now. He takes a called strike. We were talking a little bit about Ernie Banks' last inning. Of course, I said it's a beautiful day for baseball. Let's play 3 in reference to the 3 games that we will play. A triple header of baseball here in Monteria. Ernie Banks, of course, coining that famous phrase when he was playing for the Chicago Cubs of "It's a beautiful day for baseball. Let's play 2." You know, legend has it, and this is an Ernie Banks story that I love to tell, that it was a hot day, about 105 degrees Fahrenheit. The Cubs were in last place. Ernie entered the clubhouse, looked at I guess you could call them downtrodden cast of players in the Chicago Cubs clubhouse, looked around and said, "You know what? It's a beautiful day. Let's play 2." That's just who Ernie Banks was. He was an infectious personality. Everyone throughout baseball has an Ernie Banks story. Here's a sharply hit ground ball to third. Tyler Smith throws across. It's good work by Rowan Everson. Comes off the bag but applies the tag, and there's 2 away. And that's a moment in baseball history that will probably be around forever. The "Let's Play 2" moniker from Ernie Banks. And had it not been for a couple of news reporters that were in the clubhouse that day in Chicago when Ernie came in and said it, it may not have stuck. But because there were some news reporters in there, they wrote about it the following day. It's a phrase that stuck. It just encompasses who Ernie Banks was, the 19-year Chicago Cub and first ballot Hall of Famer. Nobody on that ball club wanted to play baseball, but Ernie walks in and says, "It's a beautiful day, boys. Let's play 2." 0-1, in for a called strike. Radim Novotny is 0 for 2. He is grounded out to short. He's also flied out to right field. The 0-2, low and away. From 1953 to 1971, Ernie Banks played, and part of 3 different decades, all for the Chicago Cubs. Over 10,000 plate appearances in his career. Here's a called strike 3. Good work by Garth Cahill. Retires them in order. First time he's done that since the first inning. We're halfway home. Let's go to the 6th inning. It's 6-1 South Africa.
Yosa Robertson, right field, por Australia.
8-9-1 due up for South Africa as we go to the 6th inning here in Monteria. It is a 6-1 lead. South Africa just a few innings away from what could potentially be their first win of the tournament. Josh Halverson leading things off. A strong bunt toward third, but the throw by Kubica is up and over the head of Andre Furco, and Halverson will advance down to second base. On the throwing error, it's the second of the day for the Czech Republic, and the leadoff man is aboard and in scoring position. So an E5 charged against Jakub Kubica, his second error of the day. Now here's Ruin Simon. Rather, it's not his second error of the day. I should apologize to the young man. Tyler Smith, the South African third baseman, is charged with an error today. That's 3 total between the two clubs. And Simon swings, he misses it to 0-1. It's now no balls and 2 strikes. Here's the ball hitting to right center field. Going back is Novotny. Can't make the catch, and it bounces. They'll hold the runner at third. No sense in getting the first out at home plate. And the first 2 have reached. Halverson on the error. Now a double from Ruin Simon. It's his second extra base hit of this tournament, and here comes South Africa again. They have kept the foot on the accelerator since scoring 2 in the first. They've got great pitching from Garth Cahill. And now Brandon Smith, who's already driven in 2 with a real chance to blow this thing wide open in the top of the 6th. Smith takes a ball. Here's a called strike at a 2-0, now 2-1. This one hit up the middle with the infield playing in. It'll score at least 1. Flying around third, Simon. He will score. It's another 2 RBIs for Brandon Smith. About a 4 RBI day for the South African designated hitter, and it is now an 8-1 ball game. Team who came in winless, well on their way to their first victory in this tournament. Third base hit of the day, 4th time he's been aboard. RBIs number 3 and 4. Have yourself a morning, Brandon Smith. Here's Victor Ngope hitting now. Ngope's had somewhat of a tough time at the plate today. He did single and score in the first. Inning that could have perhaps been bigger. He was unable to get a bunt down that ended up in Brandon Smith being picked off at first base. He then grounded into a double play. He's also grounded into a force. But the shortstop that he has played today and throughout this tournament more than makes up for it. He's a slick fielding shortstop, just like his older brother, 8 years his senior in Gift, the major leaguer. Victor has 3 base hits in the tournament, and here's a called strike 3. He didn't like it. Spends a bit of time at home plate, makes the slow walk back toward the dugout, and there's one away here in the 6th.
Tyler Smith es el bateador en turno. Luisa número 2.
So one away. Runner at first base. Here's Tyler Smith. Smith takes a called strike. He is singled and doubled. He scored 2 of the 8 runs the South Africa have pushed across. Here he tried to check his swing but couldn't hold up, and it's 0-2. Svatoslav Kraut, who has come into the game for Philip Kapka, has been unable to stop the bleeding. This one just missing on the 0-2. Now 1 ball and no strikes. Daniel Padishak got the start, went 3 2/3. He allowed 5 runs, only 2 earned. One of the runs in this inning. 1 extra run has been charged to Kapka. The other charged to Svatoslav Kraut. Tyler Smith strikes out, and there's now 2 away here in the 6th inning. Rowan Everson will hit with a runner aboard, 2 gone. Czech Republic dangerously close to being mercy ruled for the 2nd time in this tournament by South Africa. They trail by 7 runs here in the 6th. A 10-run lead after 7 innings would do it for South Africa. They've scored in each of the last 3 innings to go along with their 2-run first. They've led throughout since the word go. They led 1-0, 4 hitters into the ball game and haven't looked back. Here's a swing and a miss by Emerson. It's 0-2. Just missing off the plate outside for a ball. Epperson has singled in a run. He's walked and scored. He has also grounded out on a jam shot to second base. The 1-2, and he hits it hard into left field. Looks playable for Andrusek, who makes the catch. And the inning is over, but another 2 RBIs for Brandon Smith. Another 2 runs crossed for South Africa. It's been all them so far today. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning, 8-1.
Que cuando te acercas ya no es como antes, ahora quiero
Last of inning number 6. Czech Republic coming to the plate trailing 8-1. Jakub Kubica set to lead things off. He'll hit from the right side. It'll be Kubica, Cervenka, Martin Muzik. Kubica struck out a pair of times. Garth Cahill back out for another inning of work. The first two, Kubica off the plate outside for a ball. In fact, it's a new pitcher for South Africa, so the day has come to a close for Garth Cahill. It's Cameron Fortune, who is now pitching, the left-hander. Misses off the plate of the first two. To close the book on Cahill, he was very, very good. He'll have the opportunity to be the winning pitcher of record in this one, and he deserves it. 1 earned run in 5 innings, 2 hits, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, throws 76 pitches, can be the winner, cannot be the loser. It would take some kind of comeback effort. The Czech Republic from here as the 2-1 is swung out of this, tapped into the glove. It's 2-2. The next from the lefty is fouled off and out of play toward the right. Another 2-2, and this one is tapped foul the other direction toward third base. 4 Fortune, this is his 3rd appearance. He started a game earlier in the tournament. He's thrown a total of 3 innings coming into today. His start was against Chinese Taipei. The 2-2. Fouled off again. We've gone back to the right side. So 3 consecutive foul balls, 1 right, 1 left, and then the next right. It's getting everybody involved at the ballpark. Jakub Kubica. In his lone relief appearance through just 1 inning out of the pen, allowed 1 earned run against Colombia. This one hit up the middle. They had him played well. Eagles, the second baseman to his right. The throw just in time, and there's 1 away. Been talking about quite a bit of young talent. That we've seen in this tournament. Talk about some young talent that'll be on the mound in World Series game number 3 tonight. Walker Buehler getting the start for the Dodgers, who are in a hole. Boston Red Sox leading that series 2-0. The Red Sox will send Rick Porcello to the mound tonight. Walker Buehler, he's the truth. I'll tell you what, that kid can pitch. Just 23 years of age. For all intents and purposes, he would have been eligible to play in a tournament such as this. He's still very, very young. Graduate of the University of Vanderbilt. This one's flied into right field. Looks to be plenty of room for Josh Halverson. He makes the catch, and there are 2 away. They'll need some kind of performance from the right-hander Walker Buehler if they're able to want to be able to come back from a 2-0 series deficit. In that ball game tonight, game number 3 as the series shifts west. First 2 games at Fenway Park in Boston, and tonight they will play at Dodger Stadium. A story that many may not know or may wonder from time to time watching Dodger games is why they wear red uniforms or red uniform numbers on the front of their home and road jerseys. Well, that story actually stems from the Dodgers being in, or at least thinking that they would be in, the World Series. Martin Muzik is homered. He's also struck out. He takes the 2-0 for a called strike. It's now 2-1. I, for one, before I heard the story of why they wear red numbers on the front of their jerseys, never even really noticed. Here's a bouncing ball toward third. Tyler Smith gloves, throws on to first, and the inning is over. We'll get more into that when we come back, but let's go to the seventh. It's all South Africa this morning. They lead at 8-1.
Sigue la fiesta de la cultura en Montería del 1 al 3 de noviembre. Disfruta de nuestro festival Golondrina de Plata, que este año rinde tributo al porro. El turno al baque es para Nicholas Eagle. Es el bateador en turno.
Seventh inning in Monteria. It is getting late. South Africa leading at 8-1 as they are now 3 innings away, 9 defensive outs from their first win of the tournament. Nicholas Eagles will lead things off. 5-hole hitter takes a called strike. It's Eagles, Croft, and Hayden Mathey, the 3 do-ups, 5, 6, and 7 in the order. Croft takes another called strike, or Eagles rather, and it's quickly no balls and 2 strikes. Another inning of work for Svatoslav Kraut, and here it's a good morning, good afternoon, and good night. 3 pitches. Kraut gets the strikeout, and Eagles is retired. There's 1 away. Well, we were talking a bit last inning about Walker Buehler being one of the bright young talents in Major League Baseball, on the back of speaking about how many young talented players we've seen in this tournament. Tyler Croft takes low. He's 1 for 3 today. The Dodgers, of course, being in the World Series, perhaps backs against the wall, needing a win with the young Walker Buehler on the mound tonight. Trailing 2-0 to the Boston Red Sox. But the story of the Dodgers' red uniform numbers on the front of their jersey tops actually stems from being in the World Series, or so they thought. There's a lot of competing theories as to why the Dodgers wear those red uniform numbers. There's not really any red anywhere else in Dodger branding. Here's a called strike at a 2-1. It's now 2-2 to Croft. The story is an interesting one, at least the leading theory. No one knows if it's 100% true for sure, but I like to think that it is. And it's because in 1951, the Dodgers were quite certain that they would get to the World Series. It's this 3-2 missing off the plate. for a ball, and Tyler Croft
Es el bateador en turno. Receptor.
walks with one out. And you might be saying, well, hold up, Andrew. Wait a second. The Dodgers didn't make the World Series in 1951. This one swung on and missed. Hayden Matthew is at the plate for the fourth time. He's grounded out. He struck out, and he's bounced into a double play. He's 0 for 3. Just one base hit in the tournament to speak of. He taps this one foul at home plate and off toward the left side, and it's 0-2. Well, the Dodgers were so confident in their ability to get to the World Series in 1951, and they wanted to do something new for television. They wanted to do something flashy. They thought the contrast that would show up on black and white television of having a red number on the front of their uniform, allowing the commentators of the ball game to easily identify players, would be a splash hit in baseball. So in their attempt to win the National League pennant in 1951, they brought out these new uniforms. Here's a throw down to second base, and that's a good throw from Martin Muzik to nail Tyler Croft. South Africa were looking for their third stolen base of the day. Instead, Tyler Croft is caught stealing, and there's 2 away. So now Svatoslav Kraut a chance to get out of the inning and face the minimum. Pitch around the 1-out walk. Here's the 0-2, and this ball is skied into left field. Andrusek waiting a long time for that ball to come down. Instead, it's the shortstop Cervenka. And the inning is over, says Svatoslav Kraut. Good work. Pitching around the 1-out walk. He gets the caught stealing at second base. It's time to stretch. Let's go to the bottom of the 7th. It's 8-1 in favor of South Africa.
Jakub Greb, segunda base, es el bateador en turno.
Jakub Grapel leading off the last of the 7th inning. Cameron Fortune coming on for his 2nd inning of work. The left-hander retired them in order in the 6th. Czech Republic had mustered only 2 base hits today. 8-1 our score. They have been out-hit 11-2. It'll be Grapel, Furco, and Vavarusa, the 3 do-ups for the Czech Republic as they look to mount a comeback in the late stages of this one. The 2-0. Skied into right field. Halverson tracking it back toward the warning track, and a few steps in front of it makes the catch. It's now 4 up, 4 down for Cameron Fortune in relief of Garth Cahill. So just to put a bow on that story that I was telling last half inning with the Dodgers wearing red uniform numbers on the front of their jersey tops.
Primera base.
It was in 1951 they came up with the idea to say, look, we're going to be on television for the World Series. So certain that they would play in the World Series on TV, of course being broadcast in black and white. The thought was that red numbers would show up better on TV. So they came out with the idea in 1951, and the Dodgers were going to be innovative. Well, a lot of you might be saying, well, I know what happened in 1951. That's when Bobby Thompson of the New York Giants hit the shot heard round the world to win the National League pennant over the Brooklyn Dodgers. The Dodgers did not make the World Series in 1951. They did in 1952, and that is when they debuted. Those uniform tops with the red numbers on the front in the World Series. The idea was to debut them in 1951. And Bobby Thompson hit one of the most iconic home runs in the history of baseball. Here's a swing and a tap into the glove of the catcher. Furco is down on strikes. And now Yuri Vavarusa will hit 2 away. This is good work from Cameron Fortune. He's retired all 5 that he's faced. 3 up, 3 down in the 6th. Now a fly out of the strikeout to begin the 7th inning. I believe the Dodgers won the National League in the regular year by something like 13.5 games. Played the New York Giants for the pennant that year, so the Dodgers were supremely confident. Bobby Thompson spoiled the party with one of baseball's most iconic moments. Fly ball into left field, another 1-2-3 inning for Cameron Fortune. He's retired 6 straight since coming on to relief. Let's go to the 8th. It's 8-1 South Africa.
Josa Alvarez. Rayfield es el bateador de turno.
Top of the 7th inning in Monteria. Joshua Halverson leading things off for South Africa, 8-9-1 in the order. And Halverson shoots this the other way inside the line. That's a fair ball. He's on his way to second. Strong throw in from Andrusek, but not in time. And Halverson leads off with a double. He's been aboard 3 times today. That's his first base hit, his 3rd of this tournament. And here comes South Africa again. They've scored 8 times in the first 7 innings. They lead at 8-1. Just 6 defensive outs away from their first win of this tournament, but they're looking to add some more. Halverson's leadoff double, and now Ruin Simon. 1-0 to Simon, catches the inner edge, 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, 2 more broadcasts to come your way today. The afternoon ball game, Australia taking on the Netherlands. The 1-1's in for a called strike. And the nightcap should be a good one, expecting a good crowd for the host Colombia, taking on Puerto Rico. Looking forward to that broadcast a little bit later on tonight. 27 innings for me today. This one is swung on and missed. That's a strikeout for Svatoslav Kraut. Simon is down, 1 away with a man on for the leadoff man, Brandon Smith.
Bateador en turno.
Plenty of baseball today for me, that is for sure. 27 innings of ball will be the same tomorrow. This is our penultimate day of action here in the consolation round. And tomorrow will be it for us here in Monteria. They will play on Sunday. They will play for the title of world champion on Sunday. The only question is, who will play? Japan, probably likely, the number 2 ranked team in the world, who are looking to surpass the United States in the world ranking. They are well on their way to doing that. Certainly a win in this tournament and another world championship at the U-23 ranks would catapult them back ahead of the United States, a position that they lost at the end of 2017. The United States with no team at this U-23 World Cup, so it gives Japan a great opportunity to once again leap them in the world rankings, which they will do more than likely, regardless of what happens from here on out. Here's a swing and a miss. And the count now 2-2 on Brandon Smith. He's been busy today. He's driven in 4 of the 8 that South Africa have scored. Another good RBI chance for him here. He did not have an RBI coming into today. He has 4 in this ball game. Here's a 2-2, just missing off the outer part of the plate. Smith has not been retired. 3-2, just tapped foul at home plate. Oh, he's pesky, isn't he? He has 3 singles, 2 of those for 2 RBIs apiece, and he's walked. 3 for 3, 3 singles, and 4 RBIs for the 17-year-old left-handed swinger. All smiles in that South African dugout. They've waited a week for this. A week for the opportunity to win themselves a ball game. Payoff. He holds up. They'll check down to third. He did not go around. Malcolm Johnson spreads his arms as if to say no. Brandon Smith did not go around. It's now the 5th time today that he's been aboard. There's runners at first and second. 1 out for Victor Ngope. Huge implications in that Australia-Netherlands ball game that we will see later on this afternoon at 3 o'clock local time start. Teams separated by only 30 points on the world ranking tables. The Netherlands ranked 7th in the world. Australia ranked 8th in the world. And depending on who finishes ahead of whom will determine who holds the 7th spot in the final 2018 world rankings. If Australia finish on top, they will be number 7. If the Netherlands finish better than Australia, they will hold on to that 7th position, and Australia will remain 8th. And you thought the consolation round was just to determine the 7th through 12th place finishers in this tournament. No, it's for world ranking points. It's why a lot of these teams are here. Not only to play for the title of world champion, but to pick up much needed world ranking points. 0-2. To Ngope, missing off the plate. It's now a ball and 2 strikes. Here's the 1-2. Ngope swings and misses. May have gotten just a piece, but it doesn't matter. Martin Muzik held on. And there's 2 away. another look at it here. Not sure if he got a
Taylor
piece or not.
Smith es el bateador en turno, tercera base.
Muzik with a masterful job of catching behind the plate. Gloves it one way or another. So it matters not. There's two away. Here's Tyler Smith. He takes a called strike. 3 o'clock local time start, Australia and the Netherlands. 8 p.m. start here in Monteria for the big one tonight. Puerto Rico taking on Colombia. Host nation had a bit of a delay playing their first game at Monteria last night with some power issues here at the ballpark. Excellent work by everyone involved. It was only about a 25-minute delay getting that game started. It could have been much, much more. The 0-2 is hit back up the middle. That'll get down for a base hit. They're sending Halverson. The throw in from center cut off, and it's 9-1 South Africa. So Tyler Smith getting involved in the hit parade. He drives one in. That's his third base hit of the day. Now Rowan Emerson will come to the plate, and with one swing of the bat can potentially put the Czech Republic in dangerous territory. The Czech Republic team that has been mercy ruled already once in this tournament. It was a 20-0 loss against Puerto Rico. And he hits this one up the middle. They had him played well. Underhand from Grapel to second base, and the inning is over, but South Africa add yet another. It has been all South Africa in this one. Let's go to the bottom of the 8th inning, a 9-1 ball game.
Martin Calabec, right field, es el bateador en turno.
Martin Hallebeck leading things off for the Czech Republic as we play in the bottom of the 8th inning. Hallebeck is grounded out a pair of times, both times that he's come to the plate today. Once to the shortstop, the other to the second baseman. Hallebeck, Andrusek, and Radim Novotny, the 3 do-ups for the Czech Republic. So 0-1 is dropped in on a good delivery. Cameron Fortune, since coming on in relief of Garth Cahill, is not allowed a base runner. 6 up and 6 down. And that'll continue. Called strike 3, outer edge. It's a good pitch. It's his second strikeout, 7 up and 7 down. Get a load of this. Just paints the outer edge on 0-2. Hallebeck, nothing he could do. It's a really, really good 0-2 pitch. Here's Andrusek now. He takes off speed for a ball. Andrusek is singled and grounded out. He's also stolen a base. Czech Republic have stolen 2. Here's a 1-0. Off speed again, missing upstairs. 2 balls, no strikes. One run on just 2 base hits. Their lone run coming on a solo shot from Martin Muzik. 2-0 at called strike. That cut the lead in half. It was a 2-run ball game at that point. Martin Muzik homered to make it 2-1. Here's a base hit in the right field. Good piece of hitting with a strike on him from Andrusek. It's his second base hit of the day. That breaks a string of 7 consecutive that were set down by Cameron Fortune. And 12 consecutive that had been set down all up by South African pitchers. First base runner that the Czech Republic have had since the 4th. So now Radim Novotny takes low for a ball. Ground out to short. He's flying out to right. He's also struck out. Did the Czech Republic have another comeback in them? (1-0) fouled back. Count even, a ball and a strike. It's a team that has led in 4 of the now 7 games that they have played in this tournament, the Czech Republic. They have not led at any point today. In fact, faced a 2-0 deficit before they even came to the plate. South Africa plating 2 in the top of the first. Check on the runner at first. Andrusek sliding back in safely, has stolen a base today, so they will keep a keen eye on him at first base. Now a 1-1 to Novotny. Good off speed pitch that catches the outer part of the plate. Novotny has struck out 8 times in this tournament. He's trying to avoid the 9th. Does so at least for a moment as this pitch sails high and wide. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Approaching the bottom of the 12 o'clock hour here in Monteria, Colombia. Thanks for hanging out with us on a Friday morning. Now into afternoon. 2 more baseball games to come your way here from the consolation round today. Another check on the runner at first. Have a check of our WBSC scoreboard. Korea leading Chinese Taipei 5-1. First ball game of the day in Barranquilla, that part of the Super Round. They're playing in Barranquilla essentially for who's going to beat Japan in the World Championship Final. Fouled off toward the left side. They're heading to the top of the 8th inning in Barranquilla. 5-1 lead for Korea. We are playing the bottom of the 8th inning here in Monteria. It is a 9-1 lead for South Africa. Good job of battling here by Radim Novotny. Here's another 2-2. He takes it high. And the count will run full with Jakub Kubica awaiting on deck for the Czech Republic. Novotny trying to avoid a 9th strikeout and keep the line moving. His team trying to cut into a 9-1 deficit. The payoff high again. That's a good patient plate appearance from Radim Novotny. Draws his 3rd walk of this World Cup, and there are runners at 2nd and 3rd with 1 out for Jakub Kubica. So after retiring the first 7 that he faced, Cameron Fortune is now allowed a 1-out base hit. He's also walked a man. With that, Victor Ngope, his shortstop, comes and has a brief word. And it'll be Szymon Blaszek who will pinch hit for Jakub Kubica, who is 0 for 3. The first 2, Blaszek misses off the plate outside. Seen plenty of Blaszek throughout this tournament. Again, the Czech Republic played their group games here at Monterrey as part of Group B. 1-0, Blaszek takes a called strike. That'll even the count. Did not get the start today, Szymon, but is entered here in a pinch hit appearance for Jakub Kubica, who has struggled during this tournament. That continued today, 0 for 3. The 1-1 to Blaszek. He taps it toward the left side, but foul. One for 7 so far in the tournament for Blaszek. He has driven in a run. He has faced some strikeout woes of his own. Coming into this ball game, the Czech Republic had struck out a total of 64 times in 6 games. They have struck out a total of 9 times today. That's 73 strikeouts in this their 7th ball game. Fouled off toward the right side, now to play. The reverse of that is that coming into this one, the South African pitching staff had walked more than they had struck out. That's not a trend that's continued today. 9 strikeouts collectively for this pitching staff and only 3 walks. The 1-2 to Blaszek. Tapped foul again off toward the third base side. Entering play today through the 6 games that they had played South Africa, the pitching staff had struck out 24 and they had walked 32. They've now struck out a total of 33. And walked 35. That number's starting to even out for South African pitching. The 1-2. Fly to the right field. A chance for Halverson over toward the line. Dives, but he can't make the catch. Or did he? He did make the catch, Halverson. That's a spectacular diving catch in right field from Joshua Halverson. So get another look at it here. It was a high fly ball into right, gave him time to get to it, dives and makes an unbelievable diving catch. Saves a run and is the 2nd out of the inning here in the 8th.
Martín Cervenka es el bateador en turno, shortstop.
So here's Cervenka now. Szymon Blaszek nearly with a pinch hit RBI base hit, but he has one taken away from him by Joshua Halverson in right field. Phenomenal diving catch. And here is Martin Cervenka. 1-0 fouled back to the screen, and it's a ball and a strike. The 1-1 to Cervenka. Called strike at the belt. Cameron Fortune now a strike away from pitching around some trouble and sending us to the 9th. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 2 on for the Czech Republic in the last of the 8th inning. The 1-2 tapped foul at home plate. Looking ahead to the top of the 9th for South Africa. They perhaps try to add some insurance. They'll have the 5, 6, and 7 hitters due up. Eagles, Croft, and Maffey. We've collectively been aboard 5 of the 12 times that they've come to the plate today. It's really been a collective team effort offensively for South Africa. Another 1-2 to Cervenka. He fouls it off again. That went out of play. Hiding the main grandstand here at Estadio de Béisbol de 18 de Junio. Really beautiful old facility here in Monteria. Another 1-2 to the right-handed swinging shortstop, and it's lined right at the third baseman, Tyler Smith. And we go to the 9th. 2 left aboard. More good work by Cameron Fortune. To the 9th inning we go. It's 9-1 South Africa.
Nicholas Eagle, bateador en turno, segunda base.
5, 6, and 7 spots due up for South Africa as we play the 9th inning. Welcome back to Monteria. Andrew Reynolds, thanks for hanging out with me this morning and afternoon. And our penultimate day of action here in Monteria. It's been a lot of fun bringing you this 2018 U-23 World Cup. Still 5 games remaining here at Estadio de Béisbol de 18 de Junio. The 1-1 swung on and missed. That's a big cut from Nicholas Eagles. Finds himself in a hole of ball in 2 strikes. The first of which will be Australia and the Netherlands coming up at 3 o'clock local time. We will then have Puerto Rico and Colombia face off tonight here in Monteria. Ernesto Del Risco Velasquez just checking on Martin Muzik. It looked like he caught a piece of that last pitch. Appears to be okay, the young Czech Republic catcher. Eagles has had a good ball game. Here he just gets a piece. Stay alive at 1-2. He drove in one of the 2 runs in the first inning. He's also singled a pair of times. He has 2 of the 8 RBIs. Of the 8 runs that have been driven in, 6 of them have come by 2 individuals. 1 run scored on error. Brandon Smith has driven in 4, and this man, Nicholas Eagles, has driven in 2. Ball missing on 1-2. It's now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Eagles down on strikes, and there's 1 away here in the 9th inning. They'll bring in Tyler Croft, the left fielder who will hit for the 5th time today.
El turno al bate es para
Swing and a
Jaime
miss from the Eagles. 2nd time that he's struck out, but he has had a good baseball game. Now Croft takes a called strike.
Monterialízate. Our your feet from the chair. Thank you.
He's got a smile on his face while he waves the bat, doesn't he, Tyler Croft? The left-handed swinging 20-year-old. You forget sometimes that these players are quite young, but getting to represent their country on the national stage. Why wouldn't you have a smile on your face? Here's a base hit in the left field. That'll likely make it just a bit wider for Tyler Croft. He gets a 1-out single into left. And look at him, still smiling.
Es el turno para Jaime Mati, receptor.
Like I say, getting to represent your country. And on the cusp of winning your first game in this World Cup, he should be smiling. Croft is aboard for the 3rd time today. And there's a man on, 1 out. Here's Hayden Matthew. Takes the ball inside and low, 1-0. Matthew is grounded out, struck out, grounded into a double play, and popped out. He's run the gamut of outs today, 0 for 4. It's a big swing and a miss on 1-0. That'll even the count, a ball and a strike. Last check, Korea was on top of Chinese Taipei in the super round in Barranquilla. It's now 5-2. Korea still losing. But Chinese Taipei has added a run since we last checked in. Game was going into the 8th inning the last time we checked. Chinese Taipei got that run in the top of the 8th. Here's a 1-2, low and inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Korea still looking for their first win against a super round opponent. 0-3 against such opponents. It's a swing and a miss, and there's 2 gone. Korea lost to both the Dominican Republic and Venezuela, the 2 super round teams that came out of Group B here in Monteria. They then lost yesterday's game in a tight one, 3-2 to Japan, but looked to be well on their way to securing their first win against a super round opponent. There's a 2-out single into right field. Croft will slam on the brakes. He'll stop at second base, and it's runners at first and second. Could they add some more in the 9th, perhaps, South Africa? Ruin Simon. He's doubled, he has scored. 1 for 4. He's picked up his 2nd extra base hit of the tournament. He tripled earlier in the week. He doubled earlier today. 2 of his 3 base hits in this World Cup have gone for extra bases. First misses low for a ball. 2nd game in Barranquilla today will be Japan taking on Venezuela. Tough loss for Venezuela last night as they fell to Mexico. They will need to win their next 2, but it is a tough task against Japan today. As this one skied into center field, it should be the inning, and it will be indeed. The final game at Barranquilla will be the Dominican Republic taking on Mexico. Let's go to the last of the 9th. South Africa 3 outs away from their first win in the tournament. They lead at 9-1.
Es el turno al bate para Martín Music, receptor.
Bottom of the ninth inning. It would take some kind of comeback from here for Czech Republic, but crazier things have happened in this wacky sport of baseball. You're not out of it until the 29th out is secured. Martin Muziki has homered in the ball game, leading things off. He's 1 for 3. And a home run back in the second, his second of the tournament. 1-0, just high. And it's 2 balls and no strikes. Muzik, Grapel, and Andre Furco, the 3 that are due up for the Czech Republic. Could see a pinch hitter. Vladimir Schlup has already used 1, and this ball is hit high in the air to left center. Plenty playable, though, for Simon. He waits an eternity for that ball to come down. There's 1 away. Well, he hit it hard, Martin Muzik. He just got way underneath it. And he knew it. Got a pitch that he could drive, but just hits it high into the air.
Segunda base, bateador en turno.
And now Jakub Grapel stands in, the right-handed swinger. Good off-speed pitch from Fortune. How about the pitching today for South Africa? 8 1/3 now. Have allowed only 3 base hits. And make that 4. 1 out single for Jakub Grapel, his first of the day. Only the 4th of the day for the Czech Republic. And they've got a 1 out base runner for Andre Furco, the nearly 200 centimeter tall right-handed swinger who will step into the box. He is a tall specimen, isn't he? Andre Furco. Here he taps one back to the pitcher. Fortune wisely will go to first base. And South Africa now just an out away from potentially their first win of this U-23 World Cup.
A la caja de bateo, Thomas Hongra. 57. Bateador en turno.
Swinging first pitch. Here's a liner into left, but it's not caught. Good opportunity by Tyler Croft. This will score a run for the Czech Republic. An RBI base hit for Yuri Vabarusa. That's a good piece of hitting going the other way.
Right field. Bateador en turno.
And it's now a 9-2 ball game. Here's Martin Hallebeck now trying to extend the game. He swings and misses at the 1-0. That'll leave the count a ball and a strike. Was a pinch hitter, in fact, so it's Tomas Andra that gets the RBI, not Yuri Vabarusa. Andra hitting for Vabarusa. And he stands atop first base, the 1-1. Called strike number 2. The Czech Republic down to their final strike. Jakub Grapel singled, got to second base on Furco's ground out. Andra has driven in him. And the 1-2 off speed. He was able to check his swing, Hallebeck. And check down to Malcolm Johnson, who says the same thing. Hallebeck looking for his first base hit of the day and trying to extend the ball game for the Czech Republic. Fortune trying to end the ball game. The 2-2 just off the plate outside. 5 innings of outstanding pitching from Garth Cahill. And Cameron Fortune trying to put his stamp on the ball game and finish things off with a phenomenal 4-inning relief appearance, and he does it. Swing and a miss, and South Africa have their first win of this U-23 Baseball World Cup. A 9-2 win over the Czech Republic. Fortune gets Hallebeck to swing and miss. He has 4 strikeouts. Combined with Garth Cahill, the starter, they strike out 11. And good for South Africa. Congratulations to Neil Adonis and his team. It takes to the 7th game and the 8th day of the tournament. But South Africa, they're on the board with a win after a 9-2 defeat over Czech Republic. We'll be back at 3 o'clock local time. It'll be Australia taking on the Netherlands. And the winner of that ball game has the leg up for the 7th spot in the world rankings after this tournament. That will be a 3 o'clock local time start. But until then, we say adios desde el Estadio de Béisbol, 18 de junio. Final score, South Africa 9, the Czech Republic 2.